Hey y'all, I'm just gonna wing this. I've never done like a pre-recorded Zoom, so it's kind of weird. I'm the only one on Zoom, but first time for everything. So I just want to go ahead and apologize to you guys for not being able to do it on Sunday night. I had gotten back into Chesapeake not until it was like I think 4 or 5 that day, so it was just like hectic, and I knew I would be stressing if I tried to, make this happen by 6 o'clock. So I finally have some downtime. I'm actually at work right now, so it only makes sense to, take advantage of this time. So I'm coming to y'all with the 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth, chapters 10 through 12. So I'm just going to go through and I highlighted a lot of stuff, so I'm just going to kind of talk about what I've highlighted since it's basically the highlights of the chapters, right? So the chapter 10 was the law of the rubber band. And I think everyone can relate to it because you have to obviously be flexible, right? And you have to be able to look back on how far you've come or what you still need to improve. So I highlighted the first thing was life begins at the end of our comfort zone. We get there by stretching. If we just stayed in our comfort zone the whole time, our whole life, we wouldn't get very far, would we? Because it's comfortable. And when you're comfortable, you don't want to be scary and step out of that comfort zone to see what else is out there and what you are capable of. Being average is to take up space for no purpose, to take the trip through life but never to pay the fare, to return no interest for God's investment in you. Being average is to pass one's life away with time rather than pass one's time away with life. That was like, I'm going to read that again. Because a lot of people these days think they have to work to live, like you just go, your life is to work and pay your bills. Like, no. Being average is to pass one's life away with time rather than pass one's time away with life. It's to kill time rather than to work to death. Wow. And obviously, successful people are remembered for their contributions, right? And the people who tried and failed, they're remembered for trying and what they tried, right? But if you're just sitting there stagnant, not doing anything, nobody's going to remember you because you didn't attempt anything. You stayed in your comfort zone. You didn't try. You were at a standstill. Nobody remembers that. You want to make history. You want to be remembered. Setting the status quo ultimately leads to dissatisfaction. It says, I believe that people are naturally tempted to settle in a comfort zone where they choose comfort over potential. How much potential do we have? We know we have. But you have to reach your potential, you have to grow, right? And to grow is getting out of your comfort zone. So it's crazy how one thing we say leads to another, and they all work together to get you where you need to be, right? If you have ever settled for the status quo and then wondered why your life isn't going the way you'd hoped, then you need to realize that you will only reach your potential if you have the courage to push yourself outside the comfort zone and break that mindset of mediocre. Weird, I just said that right. It's like I knew that line was coming. It's just, your circumstances may be unconditional, but they shall not long remain so. But if you perceive an ideal and strive to reach it, you cannot travel within and stand still. So if you're doing all this internally, and you're moving, your mindset's good, but if you're not bringing it to the outside for others to see, that's what that means. You cannot travel within and stand still without. You're within, you're getting everything right, but out here, nobody can see it. You're not, reflecting that. And it's kind of like a catch-22. Yeah, you're doing it, but are you really doing it, right? Oh, this is good. Instead of wishing, wanting, and waiting, go out there and be the reason. You know what I mean? Do it for you. Quit waiting around for something or someone to push you or make you want to do it because you are in control of everything you do. I know we all like to have that outside influence and encouragement and everything. It's really nice. Everybody loves it. It's only human. But at the end of the day, is that, waking you up every day, is that paying your bills? No. It's what you decide to do from what you're hearing. So listen to yourself the most and make sure you're reflecting what you're taking in on the inside. And you can't focus on the past if you're trying to change the present, right? That's like, I don't even know what to compare that to right now off the top of my head, but if you're stuck in the past but you're trying to focus on the future, you're getting nowhere. Again, I think that's what this whole chapter is really trying to tell us. Oh, and when the word entrepreneur comes to mean gambler to some people, we're not trying to sign people up and just keep signing up. We want them to stay, right? On a residual income and help them people get their people like that. Because if it's a gambler, if you think of an entrepreneur like that, then you have the wrong idea. And that leads back to your mindset. Gotta have your mindset right. The greatest stretching season of life comes when we do what we have never done. Push ourselves harder and reach in a way that is uncomfortable to us. See, you have to be uncomfortable to grow. I can tell you right now, one of the biggest things for me I can remember off the top of my head that was a big personal growth, and I could tell that I had came a long way, is a few months ago when we were doing all of our events at Kelly's, the health and happiness events. I was so scared. Like the first two, I think I did not talk at them. I was scared. And Sarah kept, building up the encouragement for me. I was like, Chelsea, you can do it. Like, step outside your comfort zone. You being a leader, like, this is something you need to do. And I told myself what she was telling me. And I continue to say, it's fine. It's okay. Like, what's the big deal? You're just talking. I mean, I'm doing it right now, right? So when I finally did it, don't get me wrong, I was nervous. I was like, ooh, but I've been told that I just look natural at it, which I'm very glad, because I was the type of person in school, I would not show up that day, or I would take a 0, turn it in late, whatever I had to do to not present in front of the class. So for me to be able to present in front of, 15, 20 people at Kelly's, that was a big deal to me. And that right there is a growth. Stepping out of my comfort zone to the max. But I can tell you, once I was done, when it was over, when I sat back down and everybody was done talking, it was like, I just did that. I did that. Do you get what I'm saying? It took me to tell myself that I could do it, and it was okay. Because Sarah told me it, right? But it was up to me to take her advice and for me to tell myself her advice. So she could have told me, and I could be like, oh yeah, and still been sitting in the audience. But instead, I took it and I ran with it. And guess what? Boom, next month I was up there with her, 5 other people talking. So just be the best you can be to yourself. That's all, really. Because you are your only thing holding yourself back. It's that serious. It's never too late to be what you might have been. So, like, it's another good example. When I was younger, I was so shy, self-conscious, very insecure, and ever since I started Plexus, all that has changed. I mean, I like to think that I'm still the same person on the inside, but yeah, I can tell you I've definitely changed in the past 2 years. I've changed, but I like what I've changed for. You know what I mean? I've changed for the better. I haven't gone downhill. I've only came up. I love myself more. I'm more positive. I feel okay with saying, hey, how are you? To random strangers walking, down the street or whatever. Whereas before I used to be like, no eye contact, like, and like, oh my God, like, just so freaking freak of life. Like, I don't know. Like, I was just awkward. I don't want to say awkward, but maybe like socially not there. But it's changing because Plexus, that y'all know, it just radiates such good energy and positivity, and the friendships that we've all made. That's what's made me a better person. And reading these books that we're reading together is a key to that, because what you say when you talk to yourself, I've read it twice now, and each time I've taken something different from the book. So I can already tell you right now, I'm definitely going to be rereading this one at some point. Because, like they say in the books, it's one thing to find a book and read it and just put it back on your shelf, but it's also another thing to read it, learn from it, and live by it. So those are my goals. Not just reading it, put it back on the shelf, read it and read it again if you got to, so you can live by it and have that mentally in you. Improving yourself is the best way to help your team, right? Actually, last night on Zoom, I remember Sarah saying, she was so much like pouring into others, and she was like, well, dang, no wonder my team isn't, pouring back into me or whatever. You have to love yourself and pour into yourself, and being a better person of yourself, you're being a leader, people, so in other words, people are looking up to you. If you're not being the best version of you for yourself and your team, then what do you think they're going to be? When they go and get stuck and they say you get real mad or you just want to quit, they're going to do that too. So you have to stay positive, keep that mentality that it's not the end of the world. It's maybe a bad 2 minutes, not a bad day, not even a bad life, not a bad week. It's really all about what you say when you talk to yourself. When we stop stretching, I believe we stop really living, right? Because when you stop stretching and expanding your mind, you stopped yourself from succeeding, in a sense. I refuse to give up growing, and everyone should agree with that statement. If you stop growing, it's only hurting yourself. You have so much room to grow in life, and most of us are still in our 20s. We're not even a quarter of the way through life yet. There's so many endless opportunities. And also, this isn't to do with these chapters, but I really like this. I kept it in my head, Don't ever try to bite off more than you can chew, right? You don't want to, when you're setting a goal and you're trying to get somewhere, you don't want to have this big, crazy, ridiculous goal that is sort of back in your mind is impossible, because you're going to get overwhelmed. It's going to be too much at once, and you're going to get discouraged, and you're going to get nowhere, and no progress will be made. When you bite off little by little and take as much as you can handle, that's when people see growth and progress, and then they want to do more. Just like that's why people really need to understand my products. It's not a quick fix. It's not happening overnight because you didn't get that way overnight, right? So it's not a quick fix. People need to remember, little by little. You want to lose 50 pounds? Okay, let's start with 2 pounds a week. If you can reach that goal, you'll see, okay, progress, I'm getting there. Instead of just when you say 50 and a week goes by, and let's say you lost 1 or 2 pounds, that could be discouraging to someone who wants to lose that amount of weight. But they also have to understand that it's not healthy to do it that quick, right? So just keep all that in mind. The greatest enemy of tomorrow's success is today's success. No one has ever made a significant impact after they won the Nobel Peace Prize. So, obviously, it's this just statement about, people who get Nobel Peace Prizes. They obviously do something beforehand to earn it, right? You don't just, like earlier I posted about earning the incentive water bottle. You don't earn it unless you work for it. I wouldn't have gotten that if I didn't earn, the combination of 2 customers and or ambassadors or one or the other. You have to work for it. People don't just earn Nobel Peace Prizes for being a good person, right? They did something to earn it, and then they were recognized for it. Oh, and this too, like especially if you're meant to be something, you have a calling in life, and you're not really listening to it, you need to start listening to it. Because guess what? The difference between what we do and what we are capable of doing would suffice to solve most of the world's problems. So if you're supposed to be someone who, you're an empath and it's your calling to speak to people through the higher powers and spirits, do that. It's telling you to do it for a reason, right? Somebody out there needs you. Maybe somebody's usually how it works. I know I've been to a lady and I love her. She's awesome. And it's my goal, actually. She's really intrigued me. I've always been interested in stuff like that. Probably going to hit up the Edgar Casey School here in maybe the next 5 years of my future. So the possibility is a hint from God, and one must follow it. God's thrown out these opportunities for you, God, universe, whatever you want to say. Take advantage of it because it's there for a reason, right? And even if it ends up not being exactly what we thought it would be, at least it was an experience in life and it got us through it. You always have to look at the bright side of it. So that was my law of the man. And at the end of the chapter where it says applying the law of rubber band to your life, I highlighted if goals are too immediate, you lose the tension when you achieve them quickly. If the goals are too lofty, they can seem too difficult to achieve and become discouraging. I really said that already. It's so crazy. It's like I know what my book is about to tell me to say. So yeah, like I said, don't bite off more than you can chew. Make it easy for yourself, but doable. You don't want it easy like, let me just not drink soda. If you know you can do that, make a better goal. Because I know I can do that, so obviously that goal will be out the window. Like I can do that already right now. So make it sort of challenging for yourself, but not overly bad. You know what I mean? Right, so you want the goal to be just barely within reach, not too easy, but not impossible either. Find the happy medium. Chapter 11, the law of trade-offs. This is a pretty good one. It's, trade-offs, compromising, whatever you want to call it. Sorry, I'm at work. I thought I heard some people, but look at the camera and it's all good. Okay, people will cling to an unsatisfactory way of life rather than change in order to get something better for fear of getting something worse. How about letting go of some of the things that you love or value most? It sounds kind of hard, right? But sometimes it might be really smart to do, right? Because sometimes that can be the number one thing that is holding you back and not giving your full potential. I have always been more motivated by the possibility of success than by the fear of failure. Okay. Oh, and he said something. Let me see if I can remember what he said. I know he made the relation to Burger King and working there your whole life. Going to Burger King would mean a loss of my partner and spice for the next time. You have to give up to grow up. In other words, we'll turn his whole life upside down. That's how the trade-offs work. Now, an example on here, he says something about going, I can't remember something. It's not going to try to remember. I should have highlighted it. I know I didn't. Oh, I know, the marble one. I did highlight that. When he was younger, he wanted this special marble that this boy had. And the boy wouldn't give it to him at first. And then he finally got up to offering him 7 marbles. And the little boy finally said, okay, I'll trade you my 1 marble for your 7. Because that's what he really wanted, his 1 marble. He was willing to trade 7. And the other boy felt okay with giving away his 1 marble for the 7. And it says he was happy because he had 7 marbles. I was happy because I had given 7 marbles for 1 beautiful one. That's the power of the trade-offs. And this is, I like this. Unsuccessful people make bad trade-offs. Average people make few trade-offs. Successful people make good trade-offs. So, like the marble one. If that's what he really wanted, then he was successful. Right? If he thought that 1 marble would benefit him more than a 7, if it meant more to him, then I'd say that was a good trade-off. Ooh, nothing creates a greater gap between successful and non-successful people than the choices we make. So, choices you make, it all leads back to your mindset. You have to make a mindful choice of your choices, whether you want to do it or not. And anytime you react to one's life crossroad according to fear rather than looking at its merits, you close yourself off from potential opportunity. So, I think this is from the What to Say When You Talk to Yourself book. But a lady got a flat tire on the side of the road with her kids. Instead of, oh, there's traffic this time of day, we're hungry, we need to get home quick for dinner, I got my kids in my back seat. She looked at it as, well, while we wait for help to come, I can teach my kids a valuable lesson on, this is why you need to learn how to change a tire. I have to teach them a thing or two in the process, and it's not the end of the world. It's just a flat tire. Am I really going to let a flat tire ruin my day? No, because it's a tire, and I am human. I'm better than that. So, really, the way you handle situations has a lot to do with how your life will go and how you react to certain things. You are responsible for your life, and your ultimate success depends on the choices you make. I determined that while others may lead timid lives, I would not. I don't want to live that average life. I am on my way to doing Flexus full time. So I don't have to be, granted, I like what I do. Don't get me wrong. But it's nice to be able to just take vacations whenever you want and not struggle when you get home about, oh, I'm broke now and gotta work this much to pay that and rent's due, and how cool would it be to just count on your place's paychecks every month, every week? Like, that is my goal. Okay? I know it's a lot of y'all's too. And together we can get there. Together because we are one. Okay. When you want something you've never had, you must do something you've never done to get it. Because obviously, if you're doing the same thing in life every single day, and you're not getting anywhere, you're not growing, you're not getting, reaching your goals, then you need to step back and think, what can I do to make this happen? What can I do differently that I'm not doing now? What can I do that I've never done to contribute to this? What can I do to get myself successful? Those are the things you need to ask yourself. Because you'd be surprised if you really think about it. And change is personal. To change your life, you need to change. Change is possible and everyone can change. Change is profitable and you will be rewarded. Right? If I change for the better, when I am, not if, I am changing for the better, so my reward is going to be profitable because it's thanks to Plexus, and Plexus will have my income rewarding, which is profitable. When he first wrote a book, this John Maxwell, he said it was rejected by publishers, and there were several times when I asked myself, is all this effort really worth it? In the end, it did pay off. Did I reach my potential writing that book? No. But it put me on the road to reaching my potential because I grew. So he took baby steps. He didn't take no for an answer. He kept trying again. And now he has how many books out there? And he teaches so many people. He went from just being a minister leader to then he realized he had a bunch of business people coming to his seminars. And he said, you know what? I want to take this outside the United States. There's people traveling all over to come see me. So he started going, and he's at, I think, in 125 countries now or something like that. I may be wrong, but it's 100 something. And it's just crazy, y'all. Anything you want to do and you put your mind to, you can do it, right? We want change, but we don't want to wait for the result. Everybody's in that American fast. We want it now. And guess what? Just like we know the products don't work just like that. It's not a quick fix. It's slow and steady, healing your body from the inside out. You need to understand that with life. Life is a ride. You might as well enjoy it. Don't rush through it. And don't forget to stop and smell the roses. See the beauty in everything. Actually, the intuitive reader I went to, she told me that. Whoever was coming to me, speaking to me, and actually my Aunt Liz, which she raised my father since he was 12 years old. He passed away in 2009. So it was really cool to see her or hear from her. And she told me to stop and smell the roses. Don't forget to see the beauty in life and look for it where others don't see it or can't see it. Because that makes it that much more beautiful if other people don't see what you see. And maybe you can shed the light on them to help them see. So I'm sorry I just got off on a walk. I just wanted to share that little moment with you. You can't change your personality, but you can choose to have a positive attitude and focus on the upcoming benefits of the trade-off. So keep that in mind when you're in a situation where you realize, hey, this could be a trade-off. Weigh the benefits of the two. You know, do you want to give up 7 marbles? Is that 1 marble really worth it? That's something for you to discuss. John Maxwell also. No one can go back and make a brand new start. Anyone can start from now and make a brand new ending. You know, life is a book, right? We've had the beginning, but the end is ripped out. Life's like a novel with the end ripped out. Quote of Rascal Flatts. We are making our story up as we go along, folks. So make it worth it. Make it what you want it. Be the best book you can be, right? Because we are creating it. We are the creators of our life. We decide what happens. We can't always control what happens to us, but we can control how we react and handle the situation, right? When it comes to choices, never say never, because when you say never, you are holding yourself back. You never know what you could get from that particular situation. Okay? 4 years ago, the iPhone didn't exist. Now it's normal to carry around this high-powered computer and communication device in your pocket. No matter how successful you have been up to this point, you can never stand pat. If you want to keep growing and learning, you need to keep making trades, and they will cost you. In the end, we make trades. We are trading one part of ourselves for another. The price of anything is the amount of life you exchange it for. So make smart trade-offs. Make sure you know that you're getting rid of a little something, but you're getting a little something also in return, right? Don't feel failure so much that you refuse to try new things. This leads back to expanding your mind, stepping out of your comfort zone. You never know. I'd rather go through life not regretting. I don't want to say regretting because that's not the right word, but I don't want to sit here and think, what if I took that opportunity? Because I'm going to be taking opportunities. I'm going to see for myself what life brings me. And then from that point on, there is no regrets. Because guess what? If it wasn't beneficial, it still honestly was. Because we learn from our mistakes, right? And experience gives us what we need to set up a potential success. So even if it wasn't something good right off the bat, it still is good because we went through that for a reason, and it's going to set us up for the future. Okay? This is good because a lot of people who fall off of plexus because it didn't happen quick enough for them, or they don't see the blood, sweat, and tears, late nights, early mornings that people put in, and they just see the surface of people making money and being happy, and they're like, it didn't happen like that for me. Why has she got this? Comparison is the thief of all joy, number one. Also, there's no future in any job. The future lies within the man that holds the job. Y'all want to be like Sarah? You think that she just got like that? No, that girl would tell you how much time and dedication and long nights, early mornings that she spent training herself, teaching herself. Because she doesn't have good upline support. She doesn't, they don't talk. She made this happen for herself, just like any one of us can. We all have the same company, same product, same compensation plan, right? We can do this. Just, if she did it, you can do it. And that's what she would tell you. And it's the fact of the matter. You have to be willing to put in, right? You have to be willing more than you want. Because you could want to have $1 million. You know what I mean? You could want to win the lottery. But you have to be willing to put in the work to get what you deserve. Because do you deserve $1 million just handed to you? Work for it, earn it. And honestly, when you work for stuff like that, once you get it, you feel better about getting it because you, I mean, I don't know about y'all, but me, I just feel so accomplished. Like, when I got that $650 Plexus paycheck, I was like, I earned it. I did. I am sharing these products and getting them healthy in myself, my family, my friends, and I earn that income from being a better me and radiating that. So do the same for yourself and the people around you. The only job security we have is our individual commitment to personal development. The more personally developed you are, the better your life will be. The more growth you will see, the better you will be. And there are no shortcuts to any place worth going, right? Life is a long, winding ride. So enjoy it when you can. And we don't want any shortcuts because then if we get there just like that, it's going to be like, now what? I did it all, right? We don't want that. We always want to have room for improvement and growth. And if you have shortcuts, then you're kind of bypassing that whole ride through the progress and learning and failures and stuff that makes you better. Just enjoy it. Instant gratification and personal growth are incompatible, so that it wouldn't work. Living in the place you belong with the people you love, doing the right work on purpose. That's a good description, right? The great secret of success is to go through life as a man who never gets used up. That's, if you got used up, that would be you ending your book line. You don't want to do that. Don't ever go through life getting used up. Keep turning that page and keep writing your book. Keep telling your story. Work with people you like so your energy isn't depleted. I can honestly tell you, out of the, I might as well say, 3 jobs I have, places, being CNA and working at a pharmacy, the people in Plexus, I like the most. I love working with them. I love when we get together. And that's because we are, all have similar mindsets and we all want the same thing in life. Whereas people at the pharmacy, I'm not gonna lie, some of them get under my skin because they are so negative and always see the worst in everything, and it's always it's 5 o'clock yet, and I'm just like, I wish I could go in their heads and like reset, that programming that they are lacking, because it's like it's annoying to hear, but also when you try to go to help the person, but they're not having it, they don't want to hear it. It's like a lose-lose situation because you have the potential, you know what they need, but they don't want to hear it. And that's the number one thing that's hard for me as a person. I want to help everybody, but not everybody wants to be helped. So I need to remember that because I can't let it hurt my feelings. When I go to help someone and they don't want it or they're not seeing it like I see it, right? So just keep that in mind. You can't help everybody. You can't fix everybody. You can't change everybody. And not everybody has the same mindset as you. Because a lot of things I go through days thinking, why does so-and-so do this that way? And it's because I said, Chelsea, not everybody thinks like you. Not everybody does what you do. So it's unfortunate, but it's the fact of life. That's just the way it is. If we were all the same, life would be boring, right? So in a sense, it's kind of a good thing. It gives us life. Oh, and I like this. It says, instead of saying, what can I do for others, start saying, what can I do with others? That's multiplication, and that is the ultimate best leader you can be. doing it with each other so y'all can grow, not for. You don't want to do it for a person. You don't want to spoon feed anybody. And you want them duplication. You want to do for them in the sense so y'all can do it together. Do it together. Strive to add value. Leaders value partnerships and aggressively pursue them. Power partners, we're big on those, right? Share, not hoard, resources and knowledge with others. That's another thing that we're really big on in Plexus, right? We don't come across a cool graphic and hold it hostage and only use it for our personal potentials, right? We're like, hey, y'all, look at this cool, great thing that I found. Like, throw this out to all your potentials. This is a really great feedback. I've gotten great results from it, right? We share. We do not hoard. And I love that about us, being Black Plexus folks. We're not your average network marketing. A lot of people need to get more like us, in my opinion. Become a river to help others and not a reservoir of assets. You want to expand, have this pool of knowledge. Don't reserve yourself. The answer is multiplication, right? That's what we said. We want duplication. We want to work with our team to make them just as good, if not better. And we all want to get to the top together, right? We all want to be the best versions of ourselves, the best leader we can be for ourselves and our team, and anybody who we inspire. This is a really big one for me. This is why I highlighted it, I think. You can't do everything. There's only so much time in one day. I feel like a lot of times, I guess I think I'm like Superwoman, and I can do this, and this, and this only take 30 minutes, and that's 10 minutes, and guess what? You have to factor in the drive time, and maybe if there's traffic, or you might see somebody and get to talking maybe for 10 minutes instead of 5. Like, I still have yet to get a new phone because I think that I have all this time in the days, and that just seems to be the one thing that I keep putting off. I am gonna get it. It's happening, but the priorities in my life, each day when I make plans, it's like that's the one thing I keep cutting out. Why? I guess it's not the top of my list, but it's going to happen when it's supposed to, and it's definitely happening before convention. You heard, because your girl needs that iPhone 7 Plus for the pictures, the organization. I'm just excited. I've never had an iPhone. Sorry to get off on my not doing my book study right now. So applying the law of trade-offs. What trade do you need to make right now that you have been unwilling to make? Most people settle in and learn to live with a limitation or barrier that can be removed by making a trade. So that's what I really took away from this chapter 11, the law of trade-offs. Sit back and think in your life. If you haven't already, you might have done this already. Think in your life, what is holding you back? It could potentially move you further if you traded it all for something else, right? Just think about that and, see what you could do to improve it. Or, what is it that you're going to trade it off for? What are you going to do to make it better? Chapter 12. For the law of curiosity. This is crazy. The first thing I highlighted, it's so true about me when I was younger. Let me read it to you first. They love to sleep in, but I got up every morning. When I was younger, at sleepovers, I would always be the first one to sleep and the first one to wake. Even not at sleepovers, at my house, I would literally wake up at like 7, 8 o'clock every morning and like instantly want breakfast. And my mom hated that because she liked her sleep. So, but it's okay because guess what? He says he got up because he didn't want to miss anything. I just got up because I've always been a morning person. I've been an early riser naturally, and I like getting up and getting my day started, and it makes me feel like I've accomplished more if I get up and get rolling instead of laying around, lollygag, being all mopey. If I get up and go, it's like I used to work at Subway. I would go in and open, so I would work 6 to 12 or 6 to 2, and I would get off and be like, I still got my whole day. It's only 2 o'clock. But I just put in a whole day's of work already. And then getting up at 6 o'clock that old, multiple days a week. But that's just me. That's what I like to do. So curious people possess a thirst for knowledge. They are interested in life, people, ideas, experiences, and events. They live in a constant state of wanting to learn more. So if you're not curious, you're kind of lame and living a boring life, honestly. Because if you're not asking questions or wanting to know more about this or that, it's like, I don't want to say what's your purpose, but what's your purpose? I mean, knowledge is power, y'all, right? So take advantage of it. It's everywhere out there for us. It's literally at our fingertips. You're watching this from a computer or your phone, right? Hello, internet, YouTube, books. Curiosity helps a person to think and expand possibilities beyond the ordinary. Asking why fires the imagination. It leads to discovery and it opens up options. When you ask why, what if, you have multiple answers that arise from that, right? So if you're not asking questions, you're not getting answers. Therefore, you're not getting options. Because there's 9 times out of 10, there's more than one way to go about things. But you have to ask to find out, right? All meaningful and lasting change starts first in your imagination and then works its way out. Remember when we talked about what's the point of doing it inside if you don't take it out, right? It starts in your mind, but you have to let it flow out. It's like one more drink leads to another. You slide up close to me, right? It's like it all works hand in hand. I believe you can be curious. It's okay to be curious. You don't want to be a boring life and not ask questions, right? You want to know about life. Many people fill their minds with limiting beliefs. Their lack of personal confidence or self-esteem causes them to create barriers for themselves to put limitations on what they think. This was me growing up in high school. I failed to let my full potential shine through because I was so shy and timid and just not nearly as full as life as I am now. And I'm thankful. It's okay that I once was that person because it's made me who I am now, right? If I would have started out as that person, I don't think I would appreciate the way I am now as much. You know what I mean? Like if it just came to me, I might have that little sense of arrogance, like cockiness, but now it's like I'm very humble about it. And it makes me appreciate life even more and appreciate personal growth because just knowing that I once was there, but now I'm here. And the fact that I took that step to do that, that's what is the cool part about that. So don't fail to reach your potential because you have all the potential in the world that you allow yourself to have. So don't not allow yourself to not have it. You can change your thinking and as a result, your life, right? Because what we think about, we bring about. Who's moving a lot? Knowledge, understanding, and wisdom will not seek you out. You must go out and acquire it. The best way to do that is to remain curious, because when we ask questions, we're told why, we get answers, and that obviously leads to seeking things out. You have to go out there and get it though, right? It's not just handed to us on a platter. Famous word Sarah says that I'm starting to love is, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When you're ready to go seek that stuff, it won't be hidden. It will be at your fingertips. Look up on YouTube. Any YouTube video out there can tell you anything, really. We have so many training videos, even not even necessary classes, just in life. Like, there's so much out there, y'all. Take advantage of it, absorb it. That's why it's here for us. The direct opposite of people who have a beginner's mindset are the know-it-alls. This is what I was saying, why I'm glad that I was once like that, and now I'm changed, but I'm humble about it, because I don't want to be a know-it-all. ever have been a fan of those. I actually kind of try to veer away from those type of people because I don't like the way they make me feel. Especially when people talk to you like you're dumb, or just like the way, like, oh, I don't know, like, because you didn't do it their way, like it's not right or whatever. Like, I don't. That makes me feel uncomfortable and almost makes me want to act out of character. So I don't like to associate myself with stuff like that because I want to remain the humble, good person that I am and not let anybody get me to act out of character. They see themselves as experts. They have a lot of knowledge, education, and experience. So instead of asking why and starting to listen, they start talking and giving answers. Anytime a person is answering more than asking, you can be sure they've slowed down in their growth and have lost their fire for personal growth. Don't be a know-it-aller. Do not be a know-it-aller. Okay? Growing leaders focused on asking questions, not giving answers. That's how you know you're still a leader and you're growing. And it's good to grow. You should never want to be stuck at the top. If you find yourself, in that situation, start surrounding yourself with people who are further than you, better than you, so you can learn from them and continue to have that beginner's mindset of wanting to learn more and not having a know-it-all mindset. People with a victim's mindset ask, why me? Not because they want to know, but because they feel sorry for themselves. That's real. How many people do we see all the time or hear all the time having that negative mindset? Why me? Why this? Quit being a victim. Own up for your responsibilities. Change your life. Do something, change your thoughts. Don't, oh, I'm always late. Oh, I'm always late. Why me? Why me? Because you're doing it to yourself. You're setting yourself up like that. That's why. Set yourself up for the opposite. Success. That's what you want to set yourself up for. Curious people ask the question and find solutions so they can keep moving forward and making progress. That's the difference between the victim mindset and the curious beginner mindset people. One's first step in wisdom is to question everything, and one's last is to come to terms with everything. Those are the bookends for continuous growth. Step 1 in wisdom, question everything. Then come to terms with everything. Question everything, when you're questioning, you're getting all the options, right? That's that expanding your mind that we talked about. And then you can come to terms with everything. Once you looked at each route you can take, you can come to terms with it. See which one you like better. Okay? Ooh, yes. Being around people with great curiosity is contagious. I've noticed, especially like my Texas peeps, y'all. I feel better about asking questions and being curious because that's what I'm surrounding myself with. Whereas, in high school, it's like, any questions? No? Okay, great. And so it's like, who wants to raise their hand and, being afraid of asking a dumb question. But now I know only questions that you don't ask are dumb, and no question is dumb. Because somebody else might need to hear it too, but they might not be, be too scared to speak up and ask. So it's only dumb if you don't ask it, because you're never going to know the answer if you don't ask it, right? Most unsuccessful people accept their day, tune things out, simply hoping to endure it. Most successful people seize their day, focusing in, ignoring distractions. Growing people remain focused, yet maintain a sensitivity and awareness that opens them up for new experiences. And a really important thing is reflection. It does little good to see something new without taking time to think about it, right? We need to reflect on what we learn, what we see every day. And it leads back to reading a book and putting it back on the shelf, or really taking what you learned from it and internalizing it. Because if you're just sitting there reading it and you're not reflecting on it, what good is it really doing for you? Reflect and see how you can relate it to yourself. Experience is not the best teacher, evaluated experiences, right? So that basically is reflection. Reflect on it. Reflect on your experience. Evaluate it so you can learn from it. Because if it's just experience, yeah, it's experience, but go through it at the end of the day and have a little chat with yourself. Okay, what can I take away from that? What was good? What was bad? How can I improve next time? Or what do I need to change? Those are the things you need to ask. And this too, I've said this already, I believe, I know. People who grow and develop see failure as a progress because it happened for a reason, right? It's progress. It's going to help you further down the road of something. They know that it is possible to continually try without sometimes failing. It's part of the curiosity journey. Make failure your friend, right? Because either way, you're learning from it. Might be a failure now, but it made you who you are today, tomorrow. Only goal you should have is to be a better you tomorrow than you were today. Oh, let's see. It says, I'm someone who's always looking for options. However, I know there are many people with different personality types who are motivated to find the right answers to the question. Believe it or not, that is a problem. These single solution people are not putting themselves in the best situation to learn to grow. Why? 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 Because there was always more than one solution. I said this too, right? To a problem. If you believe there's only one single right solution, you either get frustrated because you can't find it, or you think that you have found it and you stop searching and perhaps miss the better ideas. This is why it's important to be curious and keep your options open and evaluate each and every route there is to take, right? Stay curious and look at all your options because you never know. If you just stop, you could be missing. That's like, you can go diamond, but if you just stop at gold, you're missing that opportunity to get your Lexus, get that trip, right? To Maui, like, why would you stop there when you know you have all this potential? Don't limit yourself like that. People with curiosity keep asking questions, and as a result, they keep learning. Curiosity, asking questions, you keep learning. Therefore, you will never, ever have that know-it-all mindset because you're staying curious, you're staying asking questions, and you're expanding your mind. Almost every advance in marketing has occurred when someone challenged the rules and tried another approach. If you want to avoid growing too comfortable and becoming stagnant, then keep asking questions. It's better to look uninformed than to be uninformed. Curb your ego and keep asking questions. That's great advice. Yeah, that's another thing too. I know the reason I used to not ask questions is because, I would be like, what are people going to think? They're going to think that's a dumb question. But now I have the mindset of it's only dumb if you don't ask. So honestly, the past 3 years of my life, I've asked more questions, I think, in the past 3 years than my whole life, period, because I'm okay with being curious now. Whereas before, I used to just keep it in my head and so many unanswered things. Not anymore. Chelsea is a curious cat, and she asks whenever she wants. Good ideas are everywhere, but it's hard to see them when you won't look outside your box. This goes back to coming outside your comfort zone. Not everything's going to happen inside. You gotta look out to bring in. One of the keys to abundance is having a solution-oriented mindset. The average person thinks of himself as positive, but he's not solution-oriented. Most people live inside the box instead of outside. They live with their limitations. Don't live with your limitations. Allow yourself to always grow. Always have room for more. Perhaps the greatest way to remain curious is to keep growing and enjoy life. Duh. I think we can, we've established that by now, right? Keep living life, stay curious, ask some questions. When you enjoy your life, the lines between work and play begin to blur, which is so true, especially with the Plexus business, because it doesn't feel like work. I mean, not to me. I know pretty much all of y'all probably can agree with me on that, right? Everything becomes a learning experience. That's life for us. It will be the best that we make it be. The cure for boredom is curiosity. There is no cure for curiosity. The cure for boredom is curiosity. There's no cure for curiosity. How true is that? When you're curious, the entire world opens up to you, and there are few limits on what you can learn and how you can develop. It's very true. So, what do we do with the law of curiosity? Well, I like number 2. It says, make a list of the people you spend most of your time with in a given week. Now rate each person and his or her level of curiosity. Are the majority of the people in your world questioners? Do they often ask why? Do you like to learn new things? If not, you need to surround yourself with other people. You want to be around like-minded people, because I was once told that we make up about the 5 people we hang around with, right? So if you're around negative Nancy, sappy Sally, and maybe 1 or 2 positive Hollies, and then these 2 are just meh, you need to get rid of negative Nancy and sappy Sally, right? You need to replace them. Love them from a distance. You might have known them your whole life, but they're not helping you succeed. They're not, that right words in your ear. If it's just negative, you can be as positive as you can be. When you hear that, it's hard. It's not hard, but it brings you down without you even realize that, because you're sitting there telling yourself, not to hear it, but subconsciously you're hearing it still, and it's going somewhere up there. So you may not think it's really affecting you, but over time you'll realize that it is affecting you. I can tell you that. I've realized that in my life. I can be so happy as much as I can be, but if the people you are around every day are not, it's really, really draining. And it takes away your potential to be who you are, because it's like you're using this extra energy that you have that you shouldn't have to tackle this negative demon that just wants to eat you up. So basically, what I want y'all to take away, just be certain to pick something that you find fun, where you cannot be seen as an expert, and that is far out of your comfort zone. So expand your mind. People are cutting grass out here, so I guess this is a good time. Just expand your mind, have fun in life. Hope this was good. I don't know how long it's been, but I know I only have 40 minutes, so I'm glad that I made it within my time zone. And I can't wait till it's raining next week, right? This Sunday. I'm going to post this like ASAP and DITM so all you guys can watch it. And thanks for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you Sunday.